Secretary knows, everybody knows that's the end. We're going to try to move on to the next person to get you out of here. We talked a little bit about the wall earlier. The administration has asked for $46.5 billion for the wall. The border on the Mexican border is about 1,950 miles. We've fenced or walled about 700 of it. That leaves about 1,200 miles. There's 200 or 300 miles of it that probably never going to have a fence on. It's mountainous or just impossible to fence or wall. So I would say realistically, you got under 1,000. But let's just say there's 1,000. You really want to wall on 1,000. CBP says it's 6.5 million per mile. Your response today was 12 million per mile. That means $12 billion for 1,000 miles. We're off here by a factor of 3 or 4 with 46 billion. Where's the rest of the 46 billion? The administration says they want 46 billion for a wall. You could pave all of it and still have, 34 billion left over. What's the 34 billion going for?
What's up, Patriots? Welcome back to the channel where truth still matters. Freedom is sacred, and America always comes first. If you believe in protecting our borders, defending our Constitution, and demanding accountability from this bloated government, you're in the right place. Today, we're reacting to some jaw-dropping moments from a recent Senate hearing that honestly left me fired up and not in a good way. Let's talk about 3 big topics: the border wall funding, DHS providing free security for billion-dollar sports leagues, and shocking revelations about government surveillance of American citizens, including former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes, Senator, thank you for the question. We do have 702 miles of wall today. 598 of that are steel. The rest of that is temporary, that's in place. Since the president's been in office, over 70 miles has been erected. We have 11 contracts that have gone out and allocated. We also have 5 more that are pending. Based on the dollars that have been requested, it's not just the infrastructure that would be built, that would be the actual wall construction. It would be also surveillance equipment.
The numbers way off. 1,000. You could do 1,000 miles for 12 billion. You're asking for 46 billion. So I'm one who's not impressed and would have to see more detail as to where the rest of the money goes. We can't just throw $30 billion out there and say things cost a lot.
I agree. We'll get you the specifics on that.
With regard to the drones and all the preparatory work that DHS does and the government does for the NFL and for FIFA, does the NFL pay DHS for the work you do?
Boy, not to my knowledge. I will.
Well, I mean, here's my point. The NFL makes billions of dollars. We're $2 trillion in the hole. I don't care if government shares their technology and government helps out the World Cup. They ought to pay.
Yeah,
people are paying hundreds of dollars for tickets. I mean, thousands of dollars for the NFL, for Super Bowl and things. They're also paying for FIFA. And so these people ought to pay. And so I'm one holding up these authorizations, and I'll let them go forward. But I want people to pay. I mean, it's ridiculous that the average taxpayer who could never afford to go to an NFL Super Bowl has got to pay for their security. Should the government help? If we have technology they don't, perhaps. But they ought to pay. So NFL, FIFA, I think they all ought to pay. And we'll be insisting on trying to put language in that. If you're a for-profit entity and the government's helping you, you ought to pay for it. With regard to TSA Quiet Skies and Tulsi Gabbard situation, I suspect there are going to be other people that were caught up in this thing as well. I'm horrified by the idea that we took a former congresswoman and we're surveilling her and riding on jets with her. There was another story of an air marshal whose wife, might have been at January 6th or something, and now we're, have air marshals following another air marshal or his wife. So I want to hear the whole story of what happened. I want to hear that people have been let go, that they're no longer doing this. If there were abuses of Tulsi Gabbard's liberties, I want to hear from that. But I want repercussions to come from this. And I think you've said something's coming. Please let us know, and let us know how the program the destruction of civil liberties can be minimized. I frankly probably have trouble with the whole program, but let's see if there's some way. But we need significant reform. If it needs legislation, please come to us with that. Thank you for your testimony today.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Secretary Null, for being here.
Strap in, because we're going deep, we're going hard, and we're not pulling any punches. So first off, the administration wants $46.5 billion for the southern border wall. But wait, according to Customs and Border Protection, it costs about $12 million per mile to build this wall. You do the math. Patriot's 1,000 miles of wall should cost around $12 billion, right? So why are they asking for nearly 4 times that amount? Where's the other $34 billion going? You could pave the entire border in gold bricks and still not hit $46 billion. This isn't just government waste. This is robbery in plain sight. Now look, I'm a firm believer that we need that wall. Period. National sovereignty matters. But if you're going to ask taxpayers to foot the bill, you better have a clear breakdown of every damn dollar. And let me tell you, things cost a lot is not an explanation that's a scam. We've already built over 700 miles, and they're asking for billions more without even being honest about what it's for? No, thank you. We want a wall, but we want transparency too. Let's move on to the NFL and FIFA. So apparently, DHS, our Department of Homeland Security, has been providing security for events like the Super Bowl and the World Cup. But guess what? These multi-billion-dollar corporations aren't paying a cent for it. Excuse me, the American taxpayer, the trucker, the farmer, the small business owner who can't even afford a Super Bowl ticket is paying for security at these elite events? That's not just unfair. That's an outrage. You got NFL owners flying around in private jets, raking in billions in TV deals, selling jerseys for $150 a pop, and they can't cut a check to cover their own security? I'm with the senator 100% these people should pay their own way. Government should protect the people, not subsidize luxury for the elites. If you're a for-profit organization and you want Uncle Sam's help, guess what? You better pay up. Now, this one really makes my blood boil. TSA's Quiet Skies program. Apparently, former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, a decorated military veteran, mind you, was being surveilled by our own government. They had air marshals following her around on flights. She wasn't suspected of a crime. She wasn't under investigation. But they put a tail on her anyway. And it's not just her. There's talk of air marshals following other air marshals' families over connections to January 6th. Folks, this is the kind of thing you expect in communist China, not the United States of America. Our founders warned us about unchecked government power. And this right here? This is exactly why we fight. No American, I don't care what your politics are, should be surveilled without probable cause, period. The Fourth Amendment is not a suggestion. It's a constitutional guarantee. You want to protect us from terrorists? Great. But don't use that as a cover to turn government into Big Brother. If Tulsi Gabbard, a former member of Congress, can be spied on, what do you think they're doing to the rest of us? We need repercussions, we need resignations, and we need reform immediately. Look, Patriots, this video isn't just about wasteful spending, corrupt elites, and unconstitutional surveillance. It's about one simple truth. We the people are being forgotten, ignored, and stepped on by a government that thinks it answers to no one. But not on our watch. We're going to keep speaking out. We're going to keep demanding accountability. And we're going to keep defending our country from all threats, foreign and domestic. So to everyone out there still fighting the good fight, keep going. Your voice matters. Your vote matters. And our Constitution still matters no matter how many bureaucrats want to forget it. If you believe in defending America, standing up to big government, and holding the elites accountable, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. Drop a comment below. Do you trust the government with surveillance powers? Should the NFL and FIFA pay for their own security? And what do you think is happening with that missing $34 billion? Until next time, stay strong, stay loud, and stay free. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.